And now it's time for Ask Roz and Mocha.
Welcome to episode 1278 of the Roz and Mocha Show podcast. Thank you very much for pressing play on this episode. Feel free to share the podcast with anyone in your life who you think may enjoy the Roz and Mocha Show. And as we start every Ask Roz and Mocha, we head to the phones. Welcome, Nicole. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. Your voice sounds very familiar. I think we've had you on the show before, right?
I was on Easy Money. Unfortunately, didn't win. I should have picked your name, but yes, that was the only time I've been on.
Okay, so you picked Roz's name for the game, Easy Money, and you didn't win.
Yeah.
All right, sorry about that.
We don't got to bring up old stuff.
Okay, so what is your question? You've been on hold for quite a bit. What are you doing here on the show?
Okay, well, I did put a DM through on Instagram, and I want to ask you a question. So it's a little bit biased because I am a teacher myself, but with all the back-to-school hype starting to come up again, I was wondering what your favorite core memory from back-to-school was, or if anything that stood out to you that you still remember from this day.
Let's start with you, Nicole. What's your answer?
Well, honestly, I think just the great teachers that I had were really core memories for me because it really inspired me to take on that position and inspire the next generation of students today. And, it's really heartwarming when, you're going through this experience as a teacher because you get to see your students grow and change and develop, especially at the end of the year. It's definitely a bittersweet time to say goodbye to them. But that's more so now. But I was wondering if you guys had any experiences growing up that really inspired you or that you remember to this day.
So, Mocha, a specific core memory for back to school. So not your entire school sort of history, but like a back to school core memory.
So I have two.
Yes.
If I can share those.
Please, go ahead.
And they're both they're not happy memories, unfortunately.
Oh, damn. Okay.
The first one was going to grade 3. And it was a brand new school. I had done kindergarten to grade 2 at another school. Then my family moved and signed me up for a new school. And on my very first day of school, I get into a fight with a kid. And I lost that fight. So I remember that specifically. Got my ass whooped on the first day of school.
Grade 3.
And then my second core memory is grade 9, also going to a brand new school because my family moved again. And I was the only one from my elementary school that went to this high school. And I remember the very first day showing up and I knew nobody. And I just felt so out of place because I would see all these other kids get together. Hey, how's it going? How was your summer? Blah, blah, blah. Good to see you again. Because it was like groups of kids from different schools in the neighborhood that all went to this high school. And then I was just like the one kid that knew literally nobody.
But do you not have friends from high school?
Oh, yeah. Now?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But these are all people that I met during that time.
I know,
in school.
but it's interesting to me that the core memory is the day you showed up with no friends, as opposed to leaving high school with lifelong friends. That didn't cancel out the terrible.
Yeah, I guess. Now that you bring it up, yeah.
It's interesting to me that your memory was not having any friends, as opposed to I met lifelong friends in high school.
It shows you how bad that stung, though.
I guess,
right?
Yeah.
How about you? You remember anything?
Core memory from back to school? Geez. You know what I used to love was I rarely, because growing up I lived in a small town, right? We never went to in order to go to a mall, we had to leave our town, go to far, right? And then go to a mall that was a small town suburban mall, which is 2 hallways and an X, right? There was nothing there. The food court had a sub shop and I think at the time a Manchu wok.
Okay.
Right? That was it. That was the food court. And back to school was always in late August. We always got to go to the mall with my mom, right, for back to school clothes. And the mall was the place where they had Randy River. Okay. Yeah. And Randy River, for anybody, was a clothing store. It was a men's clothing store. And it was like Le Chateau before Le Chateau, if that makes sense to people. right? Do I have to explain what Le Chateau is to people even now?
I think so.
Probably super discount.
Do you know what Le Chateau is, Maria?
Yeah, I know
You
Le
do?
Chateau.
Okay. You know Le Chateau. So Randy River was like Le Chateau before Le Chateau. It's like flashy shirts.
Yeah.
Right? Like
so much pleather.
Oh, so much pleather. And like I don't know, like pants with like 40 pleats all the way across the front of it. Right? I would get a new belt. I would get 2 pair of pants and I think 4 shirts. Right?
Okay.
So it was picking out because there was no internet. So I couldn't even do recon ahead of time and they didn't have a catalog. So it was like my mom would drop me at Randy River. She would then bugger off and go and do other mall stuff. And I would spend like an hour in Randy River picking my 4 shirts and 2 pair of pants that I was going to get for back to school, right? Like that was it. Like that to me was the day I got home with the Randy River bag was like the best, the absolute best.
Super quick, Dan Mori.
Always the smells for me. The smell of duotang, the smell of binders. To me, it's the back to school is the smells. That's what my core memory is.
Okay, Shem?
I was the fruit snack guy back in elementary school, so I always I always like to debut like a new fruit snack to my core group of friends.
Fruit snacks?
Yeah,
Like a
like
new
fruit
flavor?
snacks. Like
Or
a
a
new,
new
like
brand?
no, I had like Dunkaroos. I had like fruit roll-ups. I always had the cool stuff.
Okay,
So they would always like depend on me to bring the cool stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
That wasn't a euphemism, by the way.
Maria, core memory for you?
Yeah, because I went to French immersion elementary school. And I remember in the summers, I would go to Greece for like almost 2 months. And I would get back and then I would start mixing up my Greek and French. And then I wouldn't even know what I was saying in class.
Neither were the teachers.
No, they were like, "What? That's not French." And I was like, "I don't know what I'm saying." So that's how I knew it was the beginning of school year because I didn't know what language I had to speak.
Also in high school was always great coming back after summer to see how much people had changed, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Right? And,
Whose voice got deeper?
You know what I
Who
mean?
dyed their hair?
Whose voice got deeper, whose boobs got bigger. Right? That's a core memory.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Nicole, it was so great having you on the show. Thank you so much for your support over the years. Roz Mocha Show celebrating 16 years in the next couple of weeks. Between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
Ooh, can I say Maria?
Between Roz and Mocha, who's your favorite?
Okay,
love you.
fine. Right, love you too, girl. Well, Roz let me down last time, so I'm going to go with Mocha.
You can't win. Love you, Nicole. Bye.
Bye. Have a good day, guys.
You got it.
SFC Cosplay says here, is there something your kids learned early on that you wish you learned early in life as well?
Oh, God.
For me, it's swimming.
Oh, yes.
Because I didn't learn how to swim until
Right.
I was an adult. And Cruz learned when he was like 2, right?
Right.
Like 3 years old.
Right.
Actually, we learned together at the exact same time.
I forgot about that. Was sweet though. I know at the time, God, I goofed on you for that. But now that I think about it, that's real sweet. And you know what sucks about that though is that he doesn't remember.
I know.
You know,
Yeah.
like because I'm sure when he was older, he would have loved to goof on you for that.
Oh,
I'm
I
sure
know.
there's video.
I'm gonna have to.
Oh,
tell,
he's
I'm
not gonna
I'm gonna have to tell
see
him.
any of those.
I'll write him a birthday card maybe when he's like 17. And I'm just
Well,
gonna, I'm
why you
gonna,
gotta
I'm
be
gonna,
like that?
I'm gonna write him a list of things that he didn't, that he didn't remember.
Thanks. Anyway, what's your answer?
I don't know. Like, what do kids learn? Oh, you know what I will say is that I was amazed at how beautiful and efficient and competent my kid was typing when she was like 7.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I was in my like late 20s, maybe early 30s, where I was still like I had 2 fingers at the ready, and I'm like,
Index fingers?
yeah, index fingers, and I'm like, where's the R? Oh, same line. O Z, all the way down there, Z. Like that's like I was like very slow at typing because I never had to. Like
You needed to learn the poem.
when I no, it was just I didn't know where things were, and I still only use I think 3 fingers to type. 3 fingers, 4, maybe 4, 2 on one hand and 2 on the other hand. And I think that I wrote my whole book like that.
Really?
Just with yeah.
Now, for the rest of the team here, obviously nobody else here has kids, but is there something that you learned later in life that you had wished you learn earlier in life? Maury, we'll start with you.
I would say finances.
But you still don't know now.
No, but I wish I learned it earlier.
Yeah, I wish you learned it earlier too.
Yeah. You'd be in a hell of a lot of a better place now.
Yep.
I mean,
Not
I'm in a
so
good
much
place.
Trouble. Were the Reds forever?
Yeah.
That's a good place for you?
No, I mean,
Yeah.
like, I'm in a good place.
Yeah.
For one day every 2 weeks. Shem, you have an answer?
My first thought was like forgiveness.
Okay.
Sure.
Honestly, that was my first
You
thought.
think kids learn forgiveness?
I think kids are. I think kids are.
Ah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're right. You're
yeah,
right. You're
I
right.
think
Kids are
kids
very
just-
forgiving.
You're
Yeah,
right,
I would say
you're right.
forgiveness.
Folding clothes.
Oh, God.
You should have had my mother growing up.
Why?
Oh, I'd fold all my own stuff.
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
do
my
all
mom
my
made
own
me do
laundry,
that, too.
do all that stuff, which is great because really, as a parent, all you're doing is training your kid
Yeah.
to live on their own, right? And all those chores and all that stuff. Growing up, it was a huge pain in the ass. You'd get home from school, there'd be a list,
Yep.
of all of this stuff. And I hated chores. And most of the time I get paid for chores. It was just stuff you did to live in the house. But now that I realize it was my mom, they train you to
sure.
go and live on your own.
I had to iron all of my dad's friggin' dress shirts and his dress pants for work.
Yeah, you did?
Every weekend. Yeah.
Really?
Like on Saturdays. Oh,
Do your dad's ironing?
yes.
Yes.
Hang it up, put it in his closet and everything.
I could not imagine
Bro.
right now me telling Roxy, go down and do dad's ironing.
Yeah.
I couldn't. One, we don't iron, but I just couldn't. I couldn't imagine that. And Maria, I want to ask you about this because I thought of something else, which is the one thing that I'm really, really quite amazed with, because my kid is older than Mocha's kid, so my kid's 15 now,
Yeah.
right? And the one thing that I'm just blown away by, and it's her and also her friend group that she has, which is I'm blown away by their confidence. And I do not remember being that confident when I was 15.
Oh, hell no.
In anything, in the way that you talk to people, in the way that you value friendships, in the way that you maintain relations. There's a confidence to life that they have that I don't remember 15-year-olds having.
No, not at all.
Do you remember that, Marie? When did you get that confidence?
Not that young.
No.
I even think it took me into my mid-20s.
Really,
That
huh?
it built confidence. Because I think the younger generation, a lot of their innocence is taken away because they all want to be adults so young. And fair so did we, but just with social media and the way the world is now, kids are putting on makeup at the age of 13 now and going to Sephora, whereas when I was 13, I was probably still wearing shorts to my knees and skateboarding. You know what I mean? They're just very different. But I think, confidence is something that I learned later on. But I don't know. I think because I live in a girl household, so we were all helping out in the kitchen and doing the ironing, and we learned to swim and do all that. So I don't know. I think I kind of learned things at the right ages.
Yeah.
I wish I learned how to drive standard though. If that's something I wish I
Okay.
could have learned.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll hear my kid on the phone with one of her friends because they talk on the phone, right? They text, but they talk on the phone, which is great because I get to eavesdrop. And even just listening to them work through a problem, or if it is a bit gossipy, the advice, and it's solid.
Really?
It's really, really solid.
That's good.
She'll hang up the phone, and I'm like, wow. In my head, I'm like, you handled that really, really well. For at the time, a 14-year-old, I'm like, I don't know how, I don't know where you get that from. I don't know what you're doing, but just keep doing that.
She gets it from you, man. You give great advice.
Yeah, but she doesn't hear. Listen, nobody wants to be their dad.
I do.
You want to be your dad?
Absolutely.
No, you don't.
I would
Frank J.
love to
Sherman?
take some of my dad's skills.
Yeah,
like
now you do. Not when you were 15.
Are you kidding me? My
Probably
dad
not,
would
no.
party.
Oh, true. Yeah. Maury wanted to be with Russian bar girls.
Michelle says here, and this is a question we've got over the years, and we'll ask again anyway, because I always love your answers, Roz. But Michelle says this, Roz, what is your favorite thing to cook?
It changes all the time, to be honest
What's
with
your
you.
new favorite thing right now?
My new favorite thing right now is I found this place that, years ago, it was a farmer's market, and they did super spicy Italian sausage, but it was beef sausage, not pork sausage. And I love them. And I used to make this pork sausage pasta. And it was, beef sausage pasta. And it was amazing. And then they stopped selling them. And I hadn't seen beef sausage like that anywhere. And they just started reselling them again. And so I bought 4 packs and I stuck them in the freezer. And so beef sausage penne pasta. It's spicy, and beef sausage tastes so different than pork sausage.
You take it out of the casing?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I chop them up because I like when they still look like bits of sausage as opposed to just looking like ground beef.
Sure.
Right. So I chop it up after I cook it, and then I stick it back in with oil and everything else, and I mix it all up so you cook it all through. But that's what I'm loving lately. I'm still working, tweaking every time, like every single time I do it. Fried chicken. I want to start making fish and chips.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. I want to start making fish and chips.
What's stopping you?
I don't really like it. So my
okay.
kid loves fish and chips, right? And Catherine likes fish and chips. But
You got to use halibut, right?
Yeah, halibut or cod. You can use cod.
Oh, right. Yeah. All right.
But fish and chips, because I got to make it gluten-free for Catherine. Like, I got to do all this stuff, right? So it's finding a cool way to do a gluten-free sort of fish and chips. That's next on my list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mom of Boys asks, what was an impactful dialogue or quote from a movie or TV show?
Oh,
you have one, Maria?
Yeah.
Go.
This was from, I think it's Perks of Being a Wallflower. And it's like, you only accept the love you think you deserve.
Oh, that's nice.
And that one was a good quote that I heard, and I was like, wow, it's very true.
Yeah.
It's not the best way to live.
No, I don't think it's
No.
right.
Okay.
I'm just saying that I think
It's
it's a
nice,
very
though. It's sweet.
impactful quote
It
for some
is.
people to hear.
It is.
You know?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Maury?
From the final episode of And Just Like That, Carrie was sitting at her computer
Bro, like
typing
this year?
Hold on, let me finish.
It's like 2 days ago or 3 days ago. Yeah.
Okay.
But it was such a good line because she, Carrie always types the,
Yes.
when she says does the voice or whatever. It was the epilogue for her new book,
Right.
and it was the woman realized she was not alone. She was on her own.
Oh, the woman what?
The woman realized she was not alone. She was on her own.
She was not alone. She was on her own. Okay, fair
And I was
enough.
like, oh, that's so deep.
Nothing before last Sunday? At all?
Nah, man.
Like, you went through life, not one movie quote moved you.
I was waiting for this.
Nothing. Okay. Jesus. I remember the first time, like a movie. When did this movie come out? Hold on here.
Okay, you look that up really
Yes,
quick. Shem,
yes.
go ahead.
Probably from The Office. It's going to sound silly, but Michael Scott says, I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious.
Yes.
Bro,
I
there's
think
so
that's-
many great Michael Scott quotes.
And the reason I think that that's great is because, like, it's sort of like saying, I'm not like a believer, but I'm not a disbeliever either. And I feel like that's very
In
much like
between.
me. Yeah. So I'm with that.
So
That's what she said from The Office.
of course,
Has stuck like with
Okay,
me
let's
since the very
stick to
beginning.
movie quotes here. We're not going to go through all the Office quotes. We'll be here all day. Was there a movie quote?
I don't know, like, how about Back to the Future? Where if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything.
Yes.
George
Yes.
McFly.
Yes. Also, they're like there's so many lines from Back to the Future where they're appropriate in so many different areas. Like, you ever get in a car with like your parents or like a friend or whatever over the years, and somebody asks a question about the trip, and then you just answer roads. Where we're
Always.
going, there aren't any roads.
Yeah, my sisters say that a lot.
Do they?
Yeah, they're huge Back to the Future nerds as well.
There was a movie that came out in 1991 called Backdraft, and it was a firefighter movie with Kurt Russell and Billy Baldwin.
Okay.
And it's not like my favorite, like it's not even a quote, but it was the first time I remember, like, because 91, like I wasn't a kid, right? Like I was, like it was 91. And there's a scene, I was watching it with my brother, and I remember it was the first time sort of like as an adult, I cried in a movie.
Really?
Yeah, because there's a scene where one of them like goes into this thing to rescue people, this massive house fire, building fire, and it like blows him back and he's like dying. And then Kurt Russell comes over, who is, I think like the older brother to Billy Baldwin or whatever it is. And as he's lying there dying, he just grabs his hand and looks at him and goes, "Who's your brother?" Right? And I was watching it with my brother.
Yeah.
And I remember I just started bawling. Like I just started bawling. And I'll never forget, that movie sucked. Like it was a terrible movie, but it was just the "Who's your brother?" Was that was one of them for me. But I've been watching Tarantino movies with my kid.
Ooh.
Right, when Catherine's not around.
You better hope she don't hear this.
Yeah.
What'd you watch so far?
We watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Uh-huh.
And then we watched, he didn't direct it, but he wrote it. We watched True Romance,
Okay.
right? Which I love True Romance. Then
What about Kill Bill?
Then we watched. No, she won't like Kill Bill.
Oh, really? Why?
I don't even like Kill Bill.
Oh.
Then we watched Inglourious Bastards.
Okay.
Which is so good. And then we just watched Pulp Fiction.
What about Reservoir Dogs?
No, we're moving backwards.
Yeah.
We're moving backwards.
I don't know if she would like Reservoir Dogs either. You think she would?
I think she might. I think Reservoir Dogs. Like for me, if I'm like ranking Tarantino movies, like my favorite Tarantino movie is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay.
I think it's just incredible. 2 for me is Inglourious Bastards, then Django,
Okay.
then
What about-
then Pulp Fiction, then Pulp Fiction, then Jackie Brown.
Oh, good movie.
Sorry. Then Reservoirs, then Jackie Brown, and at the bottom of then The Hateful Eight. I didn't like that movie at all. And the bottom of the list is Kill Bill 1 and 2
Really?
I've never seen
Yep.
any of those.
How are you not putting 4 Rooms on there?
because that doesn't count. That's not in his.
First of all, Roxy would love 4 Rooms.
Yeah, no, but that doesn't count in his.
He didn't
filmology.
do Wolf of Wall Street, right?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
No, that was Scorsese.
I don't think I've seen any of his movies.
Yeah, you never seen a Tarantino movie?
I don't think I have.
Oh
Now
my
that you've named all
God.
of these,
No.
No.
Django is so good.
Django Unchained is
Django
really good.
Unchained is so good.
I think
Never seen Django Unchained?
No, only Tarantino movies I've
What?
watched was Kill Bill 1 and 2 and Reservoir Dogs.
You haven't seen anything after Kill Bill?
No.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Inglourious Bastards. So he did 2 things, right? So in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he rewrites a very famous sort of true story, but he does a new ending to it. So Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio, and it's surrounding by the Manson murders in 1969 in Los Angeles. But only he rewrites it so the Manson murders have a completely different ending.
Oh.
Right? And then in Inglourious Bastards, he writes the end of World War II. So it's like a Nazi hunting movie, and he writes how that all ended. But he completely fictionalizes how all of the Nazi party came to its demise.
Oh.
But Inglourious Bastards is so good.
Okay.
So good.
Before we head back to the phones, we have another question here. This one is for Shem. Out of all the Shem nicknames, which one is his favorite? So we have Cheesecake, we got Cookie Burger, we got Sea Poppy, we got Gentle Jesus, we got Pork Tart. Am I missing any? I think the most impactful got to be Cheesecake.
Definitely the most impactful.
Yeah, but what's your favorite, Shem?
Oh, that's tough. Okay, so my favorite nickname that's like not for the show is actually Shem. Like that's my favorite nickname because it's a short form of my name. But for the
that's
show,
a short form. That's not a nickname.
Okay, but for the show, I would probably say I like Sea Poppy.
Yeah.
Really?
That's kind of funny. Sea Poppy's pretty good.
That was like the latest one.
Yeah, Sea Poppy's pretty good.
I'll tell you though, Cheesecake is so perfect that if you came into this room one day, Shem, and said that like your family had been calling you Cheesecake since you were 3, I would believe it. Do you know what I mean? Like never before has a nickname been so appropriate for somebody that just makes sense. Like if you put Shem in a room with 25 people and looked at somebody and go, pick out the guy whose nickname is Cheesecake.
Oh my gosh.
100% of the time, people would pick Shem. 100% of the time.
Yeah.
It's so perfect.
I think Cheesecake is my favorite. Runner-up would be Pork Tart. Devin Maury, what's your favorite Shem nickname?
Oh, Cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
Maria,
yes.
what's your favorite Shem nickname?
Shemmy.
No, but like, the
Well,
ones
that's-
from the
his
ones
mom
that
says
originated
it.
from the show. The ones that originated like on the show.
Well, I guess Sea Poppy for me.
Yeah? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Cheesecake is it's
I like Sea Poppy.
it's the
It's
most
funny.
appropriate.
I agree.
Like
You don't think in a room of 20 people that they would single
25,
out the
25 people.
25 people they would first pick the pasty white guy?
nope, absolutely not. Zero chance.
Round brother, bro.
Yep.
Round brother.
If Shem was in a room and somebody was like, go find Cheesecake. If there was like a like if somebody was lost, right, and they know whatever, they were on like Amazing Race and they were like, go to this intersection right now and talk to Cheesecake. At first, people would be like, what in the hell am I? What does this even mean, Cheesecake? And they would, if Shem was standing there, it'd be like, oh, now it makes sense. go talk to that guy. Right?
Oh my gosh.
Hannah, hello. Welcome to the Roz and Mocha Show. How's it going?
Hi, I'm good. I was just listening to the podcast, actually.
Oh, well, you hit pause on that so you could join us on today's podcast.
Yeah. You guys have been away for so long, too, right?
I know, but
You guys
we
were on,
are
like, vacation.
back. Yeah, summertime is when we take most of our vacay, but we are back now. Everyone's here. Roz is across from me. I'm Mocha. David Morey's here. Maria's here. Shem's here. What is your question, Hannah?
Amazing. My question is, what's one life experience that you think everyone should have in their life?
What's your answer?
I'm going to say just because it's like timely for me, like a breakup that really sucks, but I think going through it is really important. But I think like on a positive one, I would say like going to like a Michelin star maybe and like going to a really nice fancy dining experience.
I would say going to a non-English speaking country.
That's a great answer,
where you
dude.
don't know the language. And I don't mean going to a resort, right, where they cater to you and life is done. I mean going to a non-English speaking country in a regular hotel where English isn't even the second language. Right.
And you have to figure it out?
And you do not speak their language. And you
you have to figure out how to communicate.
And you got to figure out how to communicate. It is unbelievably humbling, and you realize how much body language and manners matter, right? Because when you can't communicate, say the word thank you, right? Presumably they may know the English word thank you. But if you're saying something in a language that they don't understand and you're in their world, you have to be sort of exuberant with your gratitude, right? You have to be a little bit over the top. You got to smile a whole lot more. You have to be accommodating. You have to give people space. You have to you have to ask forgiveness when you don't know how to speak their language. Like it's a really, really, really humbling experience to go through that and try and navigate your way around it.
I think I've told this story before, but one time when we were in Cabo, not on a resort, right? Staying somewhere in Cabo and went into town. And we went to this, this ice cream shop, right? And the two women who were working there did not speak English at all, like zero English whatsoever.
Yep.
And we could not read the menu to see what flavors we wanted, but you could see like the colors of the ice cream and the popsicles and stuff. So the way we communicated to ask if they had these things was I pulled up my phone and I went to the emojis and I went to the food section and I pointed to like watermelon and I pointed to like coconut and I pointed to strawberry.
Did you? Yeah.
And then they were like, oh yeah. And then they would point to the emoji and then point to the thing and be like, that's what this one is. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Right. But you have to do that stuff. And I think it's just really humbling.
Because I think you can get your iPhone to speak for you as well now.
Now you can.
Now
Now
you
you can too. But.
But to answer your question, what is one life experience you think everyone should have? I would say at least once traveling alone, traveling by yourself, not with another person, not with your family, but just on your own, doing your own thing, you know, whether you have an itinerary or not, but just like figuring out traveling on your own. I think that's super important for people. David Morey.
I would say laying brick. I would say doing things like, laying brick so you can appreciate the buildings that you're in.
You've laid brick?
No, I'm just saying.
What?
No brick, no pipe, none.
No, yeah.
Maria, what's your answer?
No rod.
Yeah, none.
No pencil.
Thumbtack.
Okay, we don't have to, go to
Pen.
small. Okay.
The eyelash.
Toothpick.
You put it between your fingers and blow, and it just disappears.
World's smallest violin.
Make a wish.
Damn, bro. Maria,
Yes.
what's your answer?
I think that everyone should either live alone or live somewhere other than their hometown.
Oh, good one.
At least once, whether it's like going away for school or going abroad or living in the city. If you're from far out of the city, I think it's really good to just kind of like remove yourself from the place that you're used to for a little bit.
That's a good one.
I would also, I don't want people to live dangerous lives, right? Like, I don't want you to put yourself in danger.
No.
But I also think that there's something to be said to making really, really, really bad choices. And then you have the realization when you're there that you've made really bad choices and you have to get yourself out of it. Like I was a big fan of that when I was younger. You know, like I would like there's a great quote, and it was so fitting for my life when I was younger, which is the quote was, you know, I've gone places to get laid that you wouldn't go with a gun.
Oh,
right?
Wow. Damn, bro.
What?
Wow.
That was the quote. Right?
From where? Your book?
By who?
Your memoir?
No. It was not. It's not my quote. It's not.
It's the title of his new book.
Yeah, no. It's not my quote. But just you would be younger. And you would just make these horrible decisions.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like horrible decisions where you're just in a place with people because you followed somebody there. Because there's a chance at the end of the night you guys might hook up, and then you're just sitting there like on a couch, and you're like you don't even understand the music that's going on and how somebody could live like this, and there's drugs and like nobody knows each other, but everybody is just all milling about like terrible places.
I have been in situations where in the moment I knew something was going to go wrong or something had the potential of going wrong, and I just didn't know how to get out of it.
Yeah.
So I just was like, well, let's see how this plays out. And fortunately, I've like been okay.
Yeah.
Right?
So, Roz, what ended up happening?
What, that night?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of... oh, no, we hooked up.
Oh.
Yeah. But was it worth it? No, it wasn't. It wasn't worth. I was meeting somebody somewhere one time, right? Where I was meeting them, and I went to it was like a restaurant, and I went to this restaurant, and I was sitting in the restaurant, and then I had to go use the payphone to check my messages because nobody had a cell phone. And then I went and checked my messages on the payphone, and I had the restaurant right, but I had hung up on the message before I listened to the exact instruction, right? And then I finished listening to the message, and I was in the restaurant, but what they wanted me to do is I had to walk through the restaurant and through the door at the back of the restaurant, which took you to the basement.
Oh my God.
Of
this mafia stuff, bro.
Of this restaurant. And it was the basement of this restaurant where this person was hanging out with their friends.
Uh-huh.
And in that basement of this restaurant, like it was like Fight Club, death, all the things in the world that are awful that you would walk down into a basement and see, right? And I hung out there for hours.
Cool.
Hours.
Not thinking anything like I could be in danger.
Yeah, and by that time, the restaurant upstairs had closed, so you actually needed somebody from the basement to actually let you out of the building, right? If you wanted to leave.
So how'd you get out?
Like I had to get somebody to let me out.
Like when you were ready to go,
I was
or
ready,
when
yeah,
things were winding down?
I was ready to go, and then I just came to my senses when I was in there. I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing down here with these people? Like for this, like for what? Right?
Uh-huh.
And then there's a part of your brain going, because you know it's going to be awesome, right? and then I wised up, and I asked, I was friendly, and I said, hey, listen, I got to go. It's been 4 hours, whatever it is. And then she brought me upstairs and let me out through the back door. But there's like terrible things like that, and I don't advocate doing that stuff, but I think that you have to learn what your limits are in life.
Uh-huh.
And for me, those were always my limits. Like I loved, you know, every second that I was like out in the dating world and everything else. Like I had so much fun.
Can you write another book?
But when you get to the point of where you put your life at risk, that was always like sort of my
These are the stories we want.
Yeah.
Hannah, I don't know if you were expecting all of that within this phone call.
No, definitely not. But
how long have you been listening to the Roz Mocha Show for?
Oh my God, I think since 20. How old was I? I think I was 12, so 2013.
Oh, wow. Okay. So quite a while.
Yeah.
It's almost 16 years for us. So thank you for joining us on the podcast. Thank you for your years of support. And, hopefully we get to have you on the show again. Between Roz and Mocha, though, who's your favorite?
I don't think Roz is winning me with that story, so go with Mocha.
I left a girl's house one time where I didn't know she had a roommate. And as I walked out of her room, her roommate was there, this dude. And I was like, yo, where's my shoes? And he was like, right there. And I was like, those aren't my shoes. And he's like, no, those are the shoes. He's like, those are your shoes. And I'm like, but they're not the ones I wore here. And he's like, yep, those are the ones you wore here. I'm like, no, they're not. And he's like, those are the ones you're wearing home. And
no.
And he made, and it was cold too. It was like late October. And he made me wear his terrible shoes home. And he stole my shoes while I was in the room.
Wow.
And then, but he left a pair of like his awful shoes by the door, and was like, "Those are your shoes."
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
And
Get into a fist fight with the guy?
No, I die. That's how you die, right?
Walk home.
Yeah. So I wore a stranger's dirty shoes home.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Hannah, you're the best. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, bye-bye. And there you go. Episode 1278 of the Roz Mocha Show podcast has come to an end. We'll do it again.
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Catch the guys live
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10
on Kiss 92.5.
KISS925.com.
Or download the Seeker app.